Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a Tier 9 game in my Fletcher. This was a ship that was requested by somebody on my YouTube account. And basically going over the matchmaking. Looking at a Missouri, Kronstadt, Cleveland round out the radar threats. Destroyer-wise, double Fletcher, Cossack, Mahan. Um, Cossack's a spotting issue for me. Mahan, you know, is just that boat. It's been buffed recently. I should probably do a video on it since they buffed it. Um, but obviously, a tier 9 is going to outclass a tier 7. So we're gonna go on ahead and kick this guy off. I'm basically gonna show you guys how to Fletcher. So right off the bat, we've got a 4-cap domination battle. Honestly, I don't like this um, because teams get just hung up. You know, it's this map in this configuration. I think is worse than the 3-cap where you have a B cap in here. You actually will use more of the map with the 3-cap than you do the 4-cap. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about my positioning here on the minimap. Because of my spawn location, I'm headed to decap. In my opinion, this destroyer's job should not be to go to cap. This destroyer should be coming out and as quickly as possible getting spots down the 9 and 10 line and eventually get vision in behind these islands. That is honestly my favorite spawn on this map is the Far East destroyer. Um, and I'm just gonna, because I'm in the middle, we need somebody to contest the cap. That's gonna be what I'm gonna do. Fletcher, it's a U.S. destroyer. You have fantastic smokes. Here I am basically dumping this smoke out. I want to run it a little closer to the cap, but this is the important part. And notice I'm turning and I'm pulling this back, and why I'm doing that is I'm trying to create an actual curtain here where these guys can actually be able to turn out eventually, either back this way towards B or back towards the east, all depending on how they position their ships. Um, Now I'm coming up here trying to get spots down through the gap here. I don't want to just step on cap just on the offhand chance that there's some radar ship that's pushed right in here behind these islands just waiting to pop radar. This Kronstadt is he'd be an issue. The thing with this cap is you basically are fighting to maintain control over this line here between E and F. Because if the enemy is able to push, if from my perspective, if they can push the E line, I end up with a situation where um, it starts to become less and less safe back in here behind these islands. They can start to shoot in behind more and more of them, and it gets to be a pain in the ass. Now you're gonna see me flip this on the enemy because okay, this Kronstadt's kiting out. I'm relatively safe in the cap, So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to push into this pocket here, and I'm gonna try to flip this piece of cover that this Mahan is using, and at the same time, by sitting in this little pocket, these guys can't shoot me. The Kronstadts would have a really hard time trying to shoot me. And enemy ships, you know, in the middle would have to come, you know, pretty far up to be able to shoot at me as well. So this is, you know, a position where I can play aggressive, and that's what I'm looking to do right here. I do have to be cognizant of this Fletcher here. I do think that he's going to go to B cap, and you know, that's just affording me an opportunity here. I'm expecting that this Mahan may have torped, so I don't want to poke out long. Just getting some quick shots in on him. And just dumping, you know, a set of torps where I think that this guy might be headed if he, you know, stopped into the island or something like that. And you can kind of see how these guys are struggling to hit me from ACAP. It's not an easy shot that they're trying to make. And yeah, I'm detected here, but you know, it is what it is. I'm detected by the Fletcher right in here on B cap. He's spotting me. He's right here. And I mean, this Mahan is just, he's gonna get whittled down. I've got more HP than him, more DPM. My team, however, is being special and making this difficult. There's torps, and again, just using this little pocket, I'm torpedo safe. I'm a giant pain in the ass for this Mahan to deal with. Every time he pokes out, you know, he loses more HP than I do, and you know, I've got more HP and more pretty much everything to trade. And at this point, I'm radar detected, and I'm just kind of figuring, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I finally get my 5th gun into the fight, and that's the end of the Mahan. And the enemy doesn't have anything else in the area spotting me, so I am able to drop off. Now we get a quick spot on the Fletcher here. Now, I don't know what's going on with our Jervis, but yes, that's our Jervis. Just, I think he's a bot. That's the only explanation I can see. Literally, the Fletcher's right there shooting at the guy, and he's just, I don't know what the hell's going on. But I'm expecting that I'm gonna have a little confrontation with this Fletcher here shortly. And right now I've got issues with this Missouri. He's starting to push up the middle of the map. He just popped radar. Torpedoes to starboard. And at the same time, we've got a general push here with the enemy Gneisenau now. They've got another battleship, a Vanguard, pushing up the other side of the middle of the map. And this is a good play on the enemy team. My team is, they're in trouble. So I am just, you know, trying to get safe. I know this Fletcher's around here. We get a quick spot on him. Proxy spotted. Now, I need to get rid of this guy here. So I kite out, I get outside of proxy detection, and I go on ahead, throw some torps out on the Missouri, and now this guy, at his speed, I may not hit this guy, so, you know, he needs to turn out or do something, and so I just start opening up on this guy, and thankfully I'm able to bait this turn, and Fletcher torps, absolutely fantastic. These things do not play. They hit like trucks. They're fast. They've got good concealment, a quick reload, and that's a dead Tier 9 battleship. Now I've got a Gneisenau that's actually pushed up into decap. So just gonna start going to work on this guy, try to get some fires. AP at this range would be another good option, but I'm anticipating on torping this guy, so I'm trying to get some additional fires going. I know roughly where he's at, so just gonna keep blind shooting in the smoke. Just trying to get every bit of damage I can out of this. And he's finally moved. Now, if you had noticed when I was zoomed in, you could see the smoke blooming. So I have an idea that this Fletcher has pushed up right in here. So, you know, those torps were kind of dual purpose. I knew that I was getting rushed because I was low HP, and I knew that this Gneisenau was kind of in a bad position. So, you know, in this case, I'm able to actually land torps on both the targets. I get the flood, and it looks like it actually ticks for a little bit, but I don't pick up the kill on this Gneisenau. He gets his repair back, but I know that this guy's low HP, and at this point, we are down. We have no caps. My team's down to 4 ships left, and at this stage, you know, I know this is a loss. This game has become more about what can I do to maximize my earnings that I get in this game. You know, at that point, that's nothing I can do can salvage this game. I just don't have the HP, and with almost 900 points on board, I'm really gonna have to get a lot of kills quickly to be able to outdo the ticks on 4 caps, and it's just not gonna happen. So I was pretty sure that I was going to be able to pick that kill up right there. That gets me a little bit of breathing room. I'm coming back in to try to deal with this Schornhorst. I knew that this guy, I basically was baiting him that I was going east and try to force that guy to turn in. But this guy's making the smart play, and he's just running. And at this point, I've got 2 ships that are going to go down. There's one, and the second one's going to be here shortly, and that's going to be the end of the game. But Fletcher, she's a very good destroyer with, you know, good guns. Not the greatest DPM. We're talking you're going to be in tier 10 matches all the time, and against gearing and, you know, that kind of thing, you're not going to have the kind of DPM that you need to just be able to really pick fights all the time. But you can use your smoke, islands, things like that to your advantage. A lot of this is just a continuation of the same play style that you have with, you know, really Mahan and Benson, and you're just kind of the crown jewel of that style of U.S. destroyer, and the play style changes quite a bit once you get to gearing, just because of the different gun configuration, and obviously gearing is a little fatter, and she also has some armor on her that can help you when you're fighting destroyers. Um, but my suggestions with playing Fletcher: play it like a team-oriented boat. Bring defensive fire. Um, you know, use the use your torps. Use your guns when you need to. Use island smoke, whatever you need to get the damage in. Um, and it's a really flexible destroyer. It's really maneuverable. You know it's one of those ships. It's just a destroyer player's destroyer. You're pretty fast, pretty maneuverable. Um, good guns, good torps. It's just a good all-around ship, and this is obviously one of the best keepers in high-tier destroyers. Even with all the new stuff coming out, Fletcher is fantastic. So here's my Fletcher commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Um, if you have any questions about builder or anything like that, leave them below, and I will link my recommended build. This isn't a full 19-point captain. I think this was a 15-point captain. Um, so there's that. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good night, and I will talk to you later.